Good morning. I'm Megan Bowman with the WMNF News headlines. 5 conservation organizations petitioned the Environmental Protection Agency to set limits on algae bloom toxins. WMNF's Chris Young reports the blooms threaten the health of Floridians and wildlife.
Jason Tatoy is the senior attorney with the Center for Biological Diversity. Growing up on Florida's Treasure Coast, he says he's only seen algal blooms get worse.
Florida has kind of the unfortunate, probably status of being one of the worst, if not the worst, place for harmful algal blooms in America.
The organizations are seeking standards for what are known as cyanotoxins, which are released during an algal bloom. They say such rules are needed to meet requirements of the Federal Clean Water Act.
We want true transparency and accountability. And we think we can get there by having these quantitative standards in place.
Toxins from the blooms can cause various issues. For humans, effects can include skin or eye irritation. Scientists are concerned about linkage to liver disease. It can also cause aquatic life to leave an area or die. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young.
Pasco County issued a blue-green algae alert last week. Several Tampa Bay area cities have raised the LGBTQ Pride flags over city buildings this month. WMNF Sean Kinane reports that would have been illegal if a bill that died in the year's Florida Legislature had instead become law.
On Saturday morning, the city of Gulfport in South Pinellas County raised the Pride flag over its public library. It came after a short ceremony of speeches honoring the city's commitment to equality and before a day-long block party celebration of Pride. But a bill in the 2024 Florida Legislature would have made raising what were called political flags against the law at government buildings like this one. Pinellas County Commissioner Charlie Justice, a Democrat, used to be in the Florida Legislature.
Well, I think there's two parts of it. One, we don't need Tallahassee legislators trying to diminish and negatively impact our LGBTQ community. That's first off. Secondly is, I'm a strong believer in local control, and cities and counties and local governments should have the ability to make some of those basic decisions for themselves without big government from Tallahassee interfering.
Proceeds from Gulfport Pride events go to nonprofits for LGBTQ groups and allies. Gulfport City Council member Paul Ray is also the president of Gulfport Pride, which has grown in recent years.
People showed up, it was good turnouts, and then we had a march one year in 2019, and we were like, man, this has got to take this further. So that's what we did.
You can find out more about Pride Month events at GulfportPrideFlorida.com. The nearby city of St. Petersburg raised its LGBTQ Pride flag over City Hall on Friday. This summer, for the first time since 2015, Pinellas County's transit agency will not wrap a bus in Pride colors. PSTA says it's waiting for new advertising rules to be announced by the Florida Department of Transportation. Sean Kinane, WMNF News, Gulfport.
An Associated Press data analysis shows about 2,300 people in the U.S. died last summer from the effects of excessive heat. That's the highest in 45 years of records. Nearly 3/4 of 2023 heat deaths were in 5 southern states that were supposed to be used to the heat and planned for it, including Florida, with 84 deaths. Those 5 states account for 61% of the nation's heat deaths in the past 5 years. Last year, the U.S. had the most heat waves since 1936. In the South and Southwest, last year was the worst on record, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And with May already breaking heat records, experts say 2024 could be even deadlier. The federal government says nursing homes in Florida and across the country must comply with new staffing requirements. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services will require nursing homes to have enough staff to provide each patient with about 3.5 hours of care daily. The Florida Healthcare Association estimates that companies will need to hire nearly 3,500 full-time employees to meet this and other new standards. Megan O'Reilly is the AARP Government Affairs Vice President for Health and Family. She said in a recent press conference that nursing homes should only be taking on residents if it has enough staff.
It is shameful that nursing homes receiving taxpayer dollars through Medicare and Medicaid haven't been required to provide adequate care through specific federal minimum staffing standards until now. We don't believe that nursing homes should be taking on residents if they don't have the staff there to care for them.
Nursing home companies in South Florida have said they struggle to find enough nurses to hire. For weather, today is partly cloudy this morning with scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. The rain will cool you off a bit with a high around 90. And tonight, a few clouds with lows in the low 70s. Tomorrow will be sunny with some afternoon clouds and highs in the high 90s. It's 79 degrees in Tampa and 75 in Wesley Chapel. I'm Megan Bowman with the WMNF News headlines on 88.5 FM and WMNF.org.